folks. Many of you know that I lost my dad earlier this year, and recently we were invited to a unique memorial celebration to dedicate a tree in his name. No, it wasn't planting a new tree in his name, although we did plant a little magnolia tree in our front yard, and I may have gathered up a few leftover dahlia tubers from his garden. But this tree is widely known throughout the Stanwood Warm Beach community as the Bill Burr tree. Now, a little background. We were living in Nashville, Tennessee from the early 80s to the late 90s, where we began raising our two girls, and the Opryland theme park was the perfect antidote to a hot, sultry summer day, and we had season passes for many years. During the winter, the amusement park transformed into a winter wonderland, into what they called Christmas in the Park. It was huge, it was magical, and it was every kid's dream with bright lights and characters, activities, and even a talking Christmas tree. It was a one-of-a-kind place. Towards the end of the 90s, I remember my dad telling me that Warm Beach was going to take that Opryland model and they were going to build their own lights of Christmas at Warm Beach. And I remember thinking to myself, Dad, Warm Beach is going to take on a huge endeavor like an Opryland project? You're crazy. Well, thank goodness for crazy people who dream big ideas, and my dad was 100% in from day one. Warm Beach has been in our family ever since I can remember. I went to summer camps there from my grade school to high school years, and there was always a week-long family camp that took place there every summer as well. My mom and dad moved up to the Warm Beach area after his retirement and finally settled into the Warm Beach senior community during their golden years. But Dad was not one to sit back and relax. He was ready for the challenge that Warm Beach had just taken on. All right, so back to the tree. So how special is this tree? Well, they made a magnet out of it. Now, folks, I've never done anything deserving of a magnet, but my dad did. Check this out. That is the Bill Burr tree. Every branch on that tree was lit by my dad. From the very beginning, it has always been decorated with solid white lights. The Bill Burr tree today isn't quite as majestic as it was back in the day due to a fire that broke out about 3/4 of the way up the tree around the 10th year, and a couple years later the top of the tree came down, but it still looks pretty grand. I had a chance to talk with Ed McDowell, the executive director at the Warm Beach Camp and Conference Center, before the ceremony.
So this tree became the Bill Burr tree.
Yeah.
Anybody who works for lights and who's been involved in light hanging just knows this is the Bill Burr tree. And all of us talk about it that way.
Yeah.
You know, just there's a deep connection, a deep friendship, and until he just got to the point where the effort was more than he could handle physically, and then he said, you know, I gotta hand it off. But he did not hand off the significance of it still being the Bill Burr tree. Well, and it was such a blessing to everybody else, because here you had, you know, most of the light hangers are young people pulled over from summer. They don't quite know what they're doing for college or post-summer. And so they come back here and then, you know, away we go, and then here comes Bill, you know, and what, he was into his 80s before he stopped doing the tree.
Yeah.
And so
he loved doing it.
So glad that this day is possible and that we get to do this, masks on and everything. So that's kind of our new reality for a while at least. And I tell you, this tree and the Bill Burr tree, it's just a part of who we are. And watching Bill come and be a part of this, and you know, as he kept doing this through the years, and you know, the hips weren't helping him and the knees weren't helping him, and you got, you know, any of the young light hangers complain about, I got a this, that, or the other thing, you know, just go talk to Bill and get a life, you know. And I mean that in a helpful way, in a healthy way, because he was just always encouraging, always glad to be doing what he was doing. And the reality is if you work the lights of Christmas, you know about the Bill Burr tree. It just is a part of who we are and what we're about. And he set such a beautiful example. He did this with joy, and it just became a signature tree for us. And it just kind of happened. And Jeannie, you got any experiences you remember working with Bill on this?
I just remember him coming and saying, you know, can I hang lights? And sure. And so the next thing I know, he was working on this tree. And the next week he was working on this tree. And the next week he was working on this tree. And oh my word,
Yeah.
it just was stunning. And our light hangers do a great job, but no one does it like Bill. The attention to detail with every single branch covered. When he was doing it, I think we estimated we had 30,000 lights on this tree.
Wow.
Yeah.
So grateful.
You heard right, 30,000 lights. Warm Beach is currently building up the 2020 version of the Lights of Christmas. Due to this crazy year of 2020, this year's Lights of Christmas will be a drive-through experience and adventure. Many Christmas events throughout Puget Sound have already been canceled for this year, so for a great family holiday experience, the Lights of Christmas is an opportunity to get out and have some fun. I'll leave a link below to their website. During your visit to the Lights of Christmas, look for a beautiful white tree near the nativity scene, and take a minute to say hi to the Bill Burr tree.